Welcome to the Conspiracy Outpost. Today we'll be delving into the conspiracy circulating around arguably one of the most influential musicians in the alt-rock genre. He rocked grunge threads and took a shotty to his head. That's right, the one and only Kurt Cobain. This is your host, Joseph.
And I'm Matt.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Mike.
Shit, I forgot the order.
Dude, I don't know the order either. I didn't even know if I was supposed to say that. Everybody went dead quiet, and I was like, wait a minute. Was somebody else supposed to open with that? Aspen, close that door, please.
It was
God
just
damn it, man.
that long pause between Joseph and Matthew was just super funny.
Like, I'm just like,
And I was
I'm
about
trying
to talk,
to
and I
point
just,
it at, like, Matt, but it's like, I can't tell whether you know who I'm pointing at because it's a screen.
I
Yeah,
guess
it's a
you
Brady
actually
Bunch
would.
square.
Oh,
Like,
Man.
that's Matt, that's Casey.
Guys,
and
put
that's
your
Joe.
fingers down. This isn't the Brady Bunch.
All right, everybody, just be calm, okay?
It's like, I'm not going down for this.
I don't know if that's going to make it into the cast, but just in case if it does, we're on call and a four squared on Facebook Messenger. And
I don't know why they
Like
got
the
rid of
Brady
the
Bunch
original. Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of the original Brady Bunch intro where they had the dad's dick flopping around in one of the
What the
son's
fuck?
faces, and he was just like, ugh. I'm
like it
sorry.
gets its own square.
Anyways, let's get into this. Who all has heard about this conspiracy? I know I have. I know Casey has.
I don't even actually know exactly what we're delving into here. I've heard things that his wife killed him and everything.
I've heard
else.
about that. I heard it was
Yeah,
like
that's the
Courtney Love.
conspiracy that we're going to
Is
be
that it?
talking
Everyone-
about. Yeah.
You people use it.
Wingo.
Huh?
She's like Yoko Ono, but times two. Like
Yeah.
she broke up Nirvana, but she didn't kill John Lennon.
What?
The fuck? Okay.
Courtney
Well,
Love.
Casey, you want to start us off? You're generally the facts guy.
Well, let's see. So, let's give a little background on Mr. Cobain himself. So before he was the lead singer in Nirvana, he had another band called Fecal Matter that he had that he formed in 1985 after he dropped out of high school, and then it wasn't until the late 1980s when he met Chris. How do you say his last name?
Novoselic.
Selvik.
Novoselic. Chris Novoselic.
Yeah, and that's when they created Nirvana. Why did they kick the old drummer out though, Mike? I thought you might know about this because I'm not sure if you developed
I
that
think
kind
it's
of stuff.
I think it was because one, he wasn't that good. Like Kurt Cobain knew how to play drums too, and he was pretty controlling over the musical aspects of Nirvana. And I think they were just button heads or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. It could be because of drugs. Everybody was on drugs, and maybe he did
Yeah.
too many. I'm not entirely
By the
sure.
way,
I can look it up.
If they ever make a live action movie, Nicolas Cage needs to play him. Chris Novoselic.
The original-
Novoselic.
Novoselic.
Yeah, Novoselic. Yeah. Nicolas Cage needs to play him.
Oh, I guess he was. It was Chad Channing on the drums,
Yeah.
and then Dave Grohl replaced him.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, Dave
the
Grohl's
Nevermind
And
fucking
album.
Dave Grohl
That's the one. Those are the
definitely
two
had the better
people.
sound. He hit harder.
That's what I was
more
wondering
raw
out of those
sound to
two
him.
people. Why they? I had the people mixed up. Those are the guys I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones I was wondering. I was like, oh, why'd they
But
switch
yeah,
out the drummers
I
like
think
there?
I think it came down to just like butting heads because I knew, at least from what I've heard, is Cobain was pretty controlling over the music. You know, it was his music. You know.
Give me 1 sec.
Yeah.
In the great words of Dave Grohl when they kicked out Chris Novoselic, Dave Grohl went up to him and said, "What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just to one another your place? You're a pretender. What if I say I'll never surrender?" and then he continued to press his face against Chris Novoselic's face. Wait, his fist against his face, not his face against his face. I mean, it could have went either way. And then he let out a Dave growl.
Yeah. So I was right. He, the drummer, got tired of not being included in the songwriting, and the rest of them were like, "Hey, just play, what you're supposed to," and so he left.
Damn.
And then they brought in Dave Grohl. But like, they were also like thinking he wasn't good enough, and so that's why they were telling him what to play.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, yeah, it was like they're controlling the band. It's what I said.
So when they replaced drummers, that's when they came out with their Nevermind album, and that's when Smells Like Teen Spirit became a big success, and that's when grunge became more popularized, and then people started listening to it more, and then, bam, Nirvana blows up.
Yeah.
When did the flannel shirt start becoming hella cool and got you laid?
Well, it started in
Before
Seattle
that.
naturally, and
Yeah, and then
And,
like guys are just like Seattle up, partner.
yeah. You a lumberjack, or you a grunge?
I guess grunge.
Yeah, but so as Nirvana started reaching the top of the charts, Cobain he didn't like that. He was becoming disconnected from being a rock star. He felt like they went against his underground roots to be a mainstream star.
Yeah, like on the next
Nick,
album,
stop
they hired
listening
like
to it. Stop it.
like a popular punk guy and
Same
made
for
everything
you.
hella raw sounding on the next album to try to recapture some of that. I don't know if you had anything of that written down, but the next album after Nevermind, because Cobain
Garbanzo
felt that it went too mainstream. It had too much
There's too much
production
play.
interference. So they brought in a producer that had produced a lot of like underground bands and stuff like that in the punk and
there's-
grunge scene, and they went stripped back. They made the guitar tone way more trashy, less polished, and did a bunch of stuff for the next album just to make it sound raw.
That's
They're like,
really
hey
dope.
guys, we
Yeah,
need to
it's
have
like-
a meeting. People stop saying we sucked, and I don't like that. I'm against the grain.
We want people to have a
Against the
Kurt
grain.
boner. God, we want people to have a Kurt boner.
sorry,
God damn it!
That's probably one of the best fucking jokes I've heard on that situation.
I want people to have a Kurt boner. Want to get on my Cobain vein. Cobain, my Cobain vein.
Yesterday, I heard a guy in a suit and tie listen to us.
And I was like, and I was thinking, this guy's never
Disgusting.
split his wrist. This guy never lost his virginity to someone with Down syndrome.
That's true.
It's true.
Cobain.
It's 100% true. I'm not making that up.
Did you?
He
Yeah,
lost
you watched that one.
I watched it with my cousin Johnny.
Yeah,
I don't know. If
yeah.
Wait, say it.
Wait,
So,
yeah, I don't know about
on
this.
the like Cobain,
he
thing
lost
where-
his virginity. Yeah, he lost his virginity to a girl with Down syndrome, and he seemed completely disgusted by it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
she,
he's
like,
still
was-
fucked
she's
her.
Well,
fainting
he
shit
relaxed.
from what
It
he
was
said.
probably just oral, and she just went down on him.
Nope. No, like
Kurt, go down.
no, like I watched that documentary, and when
I'm
that part
surprised-
came up,
hey, I'm
when that
surprised
part
the
came up,
band
I was
wasn't
like, "What
called-
the fuck? Why did
Yeah,
you
that's
guys put this on
Dude.
here?"
There was a couple of things between that and then like a diary thing he had at fucking
Matt, it's
that
o-
I seen at
It's okay because he didn't go full retard. So
at Barnes and Noble. Yeah, it's funny. I'm surprised this band
I
wasn't
said
called.
it's okay.
System
He
of a
didn't go
Down.
full retard, so it's acceptable.
I'm surprised the band wasn't called System of a Down. But anyway, yeah, that and then there was this personal diary thing supposedly that was at Barnes and Noble. It's like stuff between that and that documentary made my stomach like kind of turn.
Yeah.
Like there was a thing in the diary thing where he said he could no longer close his eyes or he could no longer masturbate because when he closed his eyes he kept seeing babies screaming. Like it was just crazy shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like,
equals-
ugh.
Like, no, I remember like in the documentary they
That
showed
just make me
parts of his
harder.
diary and stuff like that. Like when he was talking about like getting off of heroin and doing drugs and shit, it's like, oh, you poor motherfucker. Like
Yeah,
him
no, he
doing
was
the
out of
drugs,
his
like he
mind.
wasn't doing it to have a good time. Like he was doing it just to try to fucking numb himself and escape from everything. Like he was definitely like the suicide thing does play in.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's a
Escape
enough-
me.
good good enough reason to argue against the conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Is because he was a deeply damaged person, or at least
Yeah.
from
Well,
his
yeah,
diary
even his
He's
family
seen from
even
an
said
early-
that when
yeah,
he was
from-
a child, he was well, they said they used the term sensitive. I don't know if that's like
Dude,
correct
everybody
use
does
now,
that with
but
psycho shit. People are always like, he's a sensitive boy. They did it in Stranger Things. Remember
Yeah.
the main bad guy? He was
Yeah.
a sensitive boy. And it's like he wasn't sensitive. He was into spiders and he was into preying on weak people because they were
and
weak-minded.
aminals.
Yeah, and animals. Like he was a predator. He wasn't. People use the word sensitive when they want to talk about fucking weird what they don't understand. It's like that's not what sensitive is. Or people used to use it for gay people too, which is
Yeah.
really fucked up. But it's like that insensitive is none of those things. These are just
Yeah.
weird people with a lot of fucking problems. Or weird is still fucked up. It was somebody with a lot of mental fucking problems.
Yeah.
Escape me with heroin. And I'm the only one.
But
I was gonna say on top of his depression, he also had his chronic stomach pain issues that
yeah,
he did, and then obviously his heroin addiction.
Wait,
Oh, Kurt. Donald.
Wait. This is actually part of the pod. Was Cobain his real last name or is that a stage name?
I believe it was his real one.
Okay.
Wasn't it?
Was his real name
Cobain.
Curtis? Because that would have been hilarious.
I
I think-
assume so.
Curtis is such a bitch.
His middle name was Donald. If you wanted to know that, Joseph.
Dude,
Curtis
Curtis
Social
Donald
security
Cobain.
number was this.
Dude, that ruins the alliteration. I would have shot myself too, living with that. Curtis Donald
Kurt Donald.
Cobain. That's why you Kurt Donin.
KDC.
That's like a turducken. You shove Donald Duck up Kurt Cobain's ass, and it's called the Kurt Donald. Like a turducken. Fuck everybody. Let's get back to the podcast.
Yeah.
So a few days before Kurt's death, not death. I mean, I don't know if he had a debt, but he probably did. All that heroin he was doing. He ran away from the Exodus Rehab Center in Marina del Rey, California. What are you laughing
Wait,
at, Joseph?
I love
Because
that
the
song.
place was called Exodus. Like he exited it. You said the exit. He left the Exodus rehab place. It just sounds hella made up. He exited it. Exodus. All right, sorry. Continue.
But so he hightails it out of there. He's on the run. I'm just picturing him just running. Well, I don't know. I've never been into a rehab place, but I hope he was just in like a hospital gown with his ass cheeks in the wind. That's what I'm just picturing. He's running down
Singing
the
"Rape
fucking.
Me."
That's what that song was about. Rape me, because they're taking his drugs. Rape me.
But so he's in the wind right now. Nobody knows where he's at. So then Courtney Loves hires Tom Grant. He's this guy's a former sheriff of
Yeah.
the L.A. County, and she hired him to be like a PI to go find Kurt and see where the hell he's at, you know, because she was concerned about him.
Yeah.
So then, they get a tip from what they think is Kurt's mother, and there's a missing person report filed, and it's stating that Kurt has a shotgun and he may be suicidal. But
Mhm.
what Tom?
Now this is up in. He made it back up to Seattle
yeah,
because he was in L.A. at this rehab center, and he had hooked up a plane, got back up to Seattle.
he Forrest Gumped all the way over there.
Yeah, met with friends where he picked up heroin and possibly a gun.
And so then the mom makes the police report. They saying that he might be suicidal and he has a shotgun and whatever, you know. And then but what Tom Grant says that actually wasn't his mom that called. It was actually Courtney Love that called. That was impersonating the mom. And the discovery of that led people to believe that Courtney was being elusive about her husband's whereabouts early on in the investigation.
Yeah.
Dude, I just want to say, when I watched that documentary a long time ago, when they kept showing the homemade videos of him and her, she does not like look. She looked like bong
she's
water. Like that's what she like.
Yeah,
the only way I
she's-
can describe
She's
her.
fucking
She's like
strung
bong
out with
water.
her tits out like that in every video.
Yeah, and then he's just like, I fucking love her because nobody in mainstream would like this. Because
Yeah.
everybody likes to smoke weed, not spill this shit on their carpet.
Yeah. It's like she's strung out on heroin and flapping her tits all over the place. She's
Also,
so
you,
cool.
you guys, I made this funny. I just want to say, I made this funny ass thing on, and hella people apparently love it.
So
It kept
What-
getting
you-
hella likes, and somebody was like, "No, Edna, you win the internet," and somebody's like,
So-
"You won, bro," because it was the whole fucking thing. And then somebody else.
do you have any more, or are we gonna like break into like deeper into this?
No, that's the only Rock Lee
well,
picture I have.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I don't know if you want me to just get to the part where like when they found him dead, and then we can just talk about whatever after that. I don't know.
Well, I
It's
go
up
ahead and
to
get
you.
to there, and then we can go back and break stuff down.
Yeah, because I was just gonna
I got
say
some stuff.
before we get to the because I'm not gonna go into super detail. This is just
Yeah,
just
this
like
is yeah.
some things. So a few weeks before what's it called Kurt's death, he called his lawyer to ensure that Love was removed from his will,
Yeah.
and then
This was actually after they had gotten into like a major fight in Italy, and he had threatened to kill himself while he was like drinking and shit like that. Like they got into a big fight, and then they had separated from what I've heard, if I can remember correctly. And then that's like when he came back, he went into rehab.
yeah,
You know, that's kind of something that spurred all this along.
and then
Was he was actually planning to split from her.
Yeah, so I don't know if we want to get into the death right now, or if we want to hold off on that and then get into what we already talked about with some of this stuff. I don't know where you
Okay.
Let's
Well,
get
with,
into
with
this.
the with the official
Let's-
story, what ended up happening is, you know, he got the call from the mom or whatever, and then this private investigator goes, checks the house, meets like friends there, and they're like, "Oh, he hasn't been here," or something like that. Or he checks in, he doesn't see anything, and he leaves. And it turns out, like, by the time he had checked in there, supposedly Kurt had already been dead in the guest house upstairs area.
like
So
above a garage kind of.
yeah, and so that's what happened. Like he was already dead, and,
People kept saying there was
and
no
that
way
he had
to
killed
trigger
himself.
that- Yeah,
Yeah, and so that's the official story.
Yeah, so the day that he let me just throw some dates out there real quick.
Yeah,
So the day that he was found dead, it was April 5th, 1994. He was 27 years old, and the police said that he was killed from a single shotgun blast to the head, and he had a suicide note sitting next to him as well.
yeah. So what do you want to
Well,
hop into first?
I was just gonna say from what I've seen in comment sections, because I'm a millennial and I no longer take pictures of my dick with Polaroids. I was just gonna say I've seen it like comment things.
People back in the
talking
day are
about-
passing around dick pics like fucking trading cards. Shit,
Here,
like,
here you go, here you go, baby. Hold this up to the light. It's freshly made. But anyways,
Shake it
no,
more than 3 times, you play with it. Ah.
I just because I didn't do a whole lot of whatever, but just like scanning through stuff, and people were like, "Well, yeah, you can't hold a shotgun to your face, not with your hand, whatever." But I was thinking, can you tow it? I've heard that and stuff before, like because I think I've heard
Yeah.
comedians make that joke. Put your toe to the fucking thing or whatever. I don't know if it was comedians, but I mean,
There's
it was a
you can
joke.
hold the
Definitely,
shotgun.
somebody said.
It depends
I
on
don't
the
know.
length of the shotgun.
Yeah, that's what. But I was just saying, like people were like saying it's impossible.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's
People
not.
do it.
That's
But then
yeah.
the reason why they said it would have been impossible for him to do so is because they said he had 3 times the lethal amount of heroin in his system.
Dude, I've watched people on heroin do shit. Well, mainly lay on couches.
Yeah.
I don't understand
Yeah.
heroin. I honestly don't understand heroin.
You just pass the fuck out.
Yeah, it's like, why would you want to do that? I
Yeah,
don't know.
but-
I understand
so
uppers. I
that's
100%
why
understand uppers.
it's,
I don't understand downers.
That's why they were. People say it's there's no way he could have did it with the shotgun because by the time he would have gotten the 3 times the amount of heroin inside of his body, he would have already been done, passed out. He would have not been able to have
Well,
the strength
how do
to
they?
pick
How
up
do,
the
well,
shotgun.
it's kind of like how you chug a beer. You take like 5 shots in a row, right? You take 20 shots in a row.
You don't know
shoot
if it
yourself
hits
in
you
the
all
head.
at once.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if you
that's how
mainline
it is.
heroin, it's pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, but it's right in your vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what if he did it
that's-
and then he shot himself? Or he had a good tolerance because he did it all the time.
Well, he couldn't have shot himself first.
Well, they say that the they said
Like, he
even
couldn't have done
even a
that.
heroin addict like an avid heroin addict couldn't function with 3 times the lethal
Yeah,
amount.
that is like one of the things that is like, that. Because I'm pretty sure when people mainline heroin, it's pretty fucking fast. that they're
Excessive
just out.
suicide mortality and risk factors for suicide among patients. with
Yeah, I don't
heroin
know.
dependence.
I don't know
There's a
how
whole
fast
page
heroin
about-
actually takes to hit you, but I've
Yeah.
like every movie or like every TV show I've ever seen when everyone's
When they
doing it, they
mainline,
like
they're just
literally
like do it and then
they're
they're
literally
out.
like doing it and they're like already laying back on their couch or
Yeah.
bed or whatever, and they're passing
consecutive
out and
seri-
usually puking on themselves depending on where the show's going or movie.
A consecutive series of 2,750 inpatients patients dependent on heroin admitted to a psychiatric center in northern Taiwan between. Oh, this is something else.
Joe, I was gonna say if you want, you can read the letters that people sent to the FBI. I sent that link into the group chat.
No, that's
You can-
fine. I mean, you got the
No, but like that was
No,
another
I didn't
thing.
write them
and then-
down, but you can read them because it's like people asking questions about the investigation and stuff. They were wondering what was going on. You know, they were like, oh,
But individuals dependent on heroin are more likely to die of suicide compared to the general population. Like suicide is like a down. It's a
I feel like if you
depressive-
look up any drug like that, though, it's gonna say, oh yeah, if you use cocaine, you're more likely to commit
No,
suicide.
cocaine, you're more likely. Most
Suicide
of the
over
things say you're
overdose.
more likely to have heart disease if you use cocaine.
Yeah,
And
suicide
that's
versus
like that's
overdose,
literally
is
if
what
you
they
look
talk
up like a
about.
lot of cocaine things, they talk about like heart disease and whatever and ODing and stuff. Heroin just straight says it like is not good with depressive behavior. Like it causes whatever. In all actuality, though, because drug-induced shit is same thing with alcohol. I mean, in the end of the day, they are depressants. When you drink, when you do anything, you start getting sad, you start getting whatever. I mean,
You get really
it's
happy
not,
when
doesn't
you drink.
necessarily mean doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be suicidal. But I'm saying I mean, it's not a myth. It's a fact. They are depressants. It's not a scare tactic to whatever.
Well,
But
it's like that. It's like that when you listen to music too. Like the type of music you listen to is like if
Yeah,
you keep
but I
listening
feel
to
like-
sad music over and over and over, you're
I
gonna be in
feel
like
like
this shitty, sad
weaker-minded
mood.
people. Yeah, but I feel like weaker-minded people kill themselves after listening to music.
Well, I'm not
Stronger-minded
saying
kill
you shouldn't
themselves
kill
when they're
yourself after listening to
intoxicated.
music. I'm just saying it can alter your
No,
mood. That's all I was saying.
yeah, it alters your mood, but drugs and stuff literally fucks with the chemicals of your brain. Like it literally fucks with your physiology. It's not just a mood that you already felt mentally that's already there. It literally fucks with your physiology.
Dude,
That's
I
why
can't-
people get
I can't
addicted
wait.
to shit because your body eventually stops producing fucking endorphin. Yeah, oxytocin, whatever, and then you become reliant on the other drugs that you're doing because your body no longer produces it like naturally. Like it literally turns you into a depressive, fucking addicted piece of shit when you're on drugs like that. Heroin is not. Heroin is a deadly. Heroin is one of the drugs they said, and I actually got this from Kevin Smith.
It
about
kills the most
Jason
people.
Mewes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like the
heroin.
most dangerous drug
Heroin
there
is the worst
right now.
because
Oh, freely
you
on the
won't
market,
die,
yeah.
you will not die from ODing on it, but it will feel like your body is being stabbed if you're not on it. Like it's the one thing that like when you're feeding for it,
You will die
and you're
from ODing on it.
Yeah.
Is it? I thought that was the one
My
drug that they said you can't die
my
from
nephew-
ODing.
what-
on.
Well, yeah.
Or no, not
You can
ODing.
OD
I'm
on
sorry,
it.
not ODing. I said the wrong word. From what do you call it? From
Detoxing.
detoxing. It's the one drug that you won't. I said the wrong word. It's the one drug you can't die from detoxing, but you are literally in physical pain when you're detoxing from heroin. That it is
Yeah,
described
from what
as
I've
being
heard, it
stabbed
like
with.
it hurts your
Yeah.
stomach and shit.
Yeah, it feels like you're being stabbed with needles and shit, and you're fucking freaking out. But you can't die. It's the only drug you can't die from detoxing that I know of.
Yeah.
Because they have to like alcoholics even and shit like that. Like they need a little bit to whatever. Like people can. You can't just cut off cold turkey with most
It's
things
like
when
that
you're
thing
addicted.
on Always Sunny. It's like everybody remember to take a shot of mouthwash every day, so we don't die.
Yeah, that's it. But it's like a literal thing. But heroin is literally like it's like one of the fucking nastier drugs when it comes to detoxing and shit. It won't kill you, but you want to
Heroin
die if you don't
completely
have it.
destroys people too. Like
Yeah, it completely
changes
destroys your
people.
lives. It's
It's-
sad, but like heroin,
it's
the
a
point
bad
is,
drug.
yeah, it is a nasty ass drug, and it's one of the worst things to detox from drugs. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's probably a lot of suicides because if they're not allowed to have it and they're
Yeah,
in that
but
excruciating pain, they're gonna kill
to-
themselves. I
to-
get
to
that.
that point, yes,
Mm,
it is very common for suicide because it is such a harsh drug. It definitely
Yeah.
changes people
but I guarantee
for the
I'm not-
worst.
yeah, but I
Like
guarantee
majorly.
that downers have a higher mortality rate than uppers do. I
Yeah.
guarantee it. I don't even have to
But-
look at it. I mean, I should
This,
just like
this is yeah.
but it makes sense, right? Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
no,
more-
I agree with you. I'm just saying
Like,
that
it is a
they say that
terrible-
about every drug, any drug,
Yeah.
because they don't want you, obviously addicted to the stuff.
Drugs
It's like,
bad,
oh, yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
well,
drugs
yeah,
are bad.
but also
To that
But
point, though,
also,
I
you hear more
this
OD
is one of the few-
stories about party drugs, and you hear more
Yeah.
suicide dependent on downers. And it
Yeah,
could just be a
and-
ruse, but I mean, does it not make sense? I mean, that literally is something that's supposed to fucking like.
yeah, it's
Same thing with
but to,
fentanyl.
to that point, this is one of those conspiracies
That's
that
like
I actually
fentanyl,
like
coke.
do believe. I don't think he killed himself. Yes, there's a lot of things that point that way, but
I don't know.
I
The dude
don't-
was batshit out of his mind. So
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that sees babies while they're masturbating is.
No, he said he couldn't masturbate anymore because he saw babies.
But I imagine he grabbed his dick, closed his eyes, and seen babies. It's like no, like fighting inner demons. That's just,
He just
God.
never got over that the photo shoot for the album.
yeah, that might be what it was. No,
But,
I mean, I don't
No,
know.
they
honestly.
say okay. So I'm kind of with Mike on it because it is kind of it is weird because it says nose itched. It said the suicide note.
I was
has,
talking
like-
about drugs. You got a nose itch.
Yeah, dude, I wish.
My mom
no.
makes jokes that I'm on drugs because I'm always itching my nose.
talking about what the notes were comprised of. Like
Yeah, I
they
was
found
gonna
out that it looked like someone had copied the notes from previous like diary entries that he'd had. They'd written over it because there was exact wordings in there from a whole
What
bunch
if
of
he was
different
Oh, see, I didn't
a
know
whole bunch
that.
of different diary entries.
I just knew that the top half just it looked like it was like Kurt's handwriting, and then the bottom half looked like it was written by somebody else. It didn't look like it
yeah,
was
but
written by
it
the
was
same
also
person.
had a whole bunch of like stuff from previous journal entries.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. That's interesting too.
What
Yeah,
I didn't
that's-
know, you guys, what I
What were you
didn't know.
saying? Oh, sorry,
Kurt?
Jess. I was gonna see what Matthew was saying because I cut him off like twice.
So, no, it's fine. I mean, he was pretty manic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, what I didn't know is that he
Pretty
has
crazy.
a butt chin.
A what?
what?
He has a butt chin. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what Matthew was saying, yeah, he seemed extremely manic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
he
feel
was
like when
super unstable. He had like he was like he had a host of like mental illnesses. Crazy
Yeah,
shit.
but
A lot
from
of it
what people said,
non-diagnosed.
like he
Yeah.
went to rehab and he was getting clean. He was
the
actually
only
getting
thing
a lot
diagnosed
better.
was depression,
like-
wasn't it?
Yeah,
like,
but it
or
probably
was-
wasn't.
I think
but
it was
how much is
depression.
that better?
Not
From what was-
depression. I think it was
from what
depression
was
and
said by
bipolar
pe-
too.
Yeah, from what people
Yeah, and
said,
bipolar.
Yeah.
from what people
Again-
said who were around him, he went to rehab, but like he had already started to get clean and try to clean his life up for his daughter. Like he was doing that, and
Yeah,
like
I don't believe half of those because this is coming
relapse.
from somebody. This is coming from well, actually, me and Matthew in the same boat. People have told us that our entire lives. Yeah, I'm cleaning up for my kids, and the next thing you know, you're in foster care and fucking whatever. It's not. People
yeah,
say
but
that,
it's like
shit, but
before
honestly,
that, it's
drug
like he
addict-
had also that it wasn't just for his kid. He was also cleaning up because he was planning on divorcing Courtney.
Yeah, but again, like people don't understand. Addicts are super selfish. They don't mean to be.
Yeah.
In their heads, they're doing whatever, but they're not. They're in their head. Their heart's in the right place, but they don't.
I'm just
have
saying,
the
like people
willpower.
around him had said that he was in a stable mind frame when he
Who
went
are these
in-
people?
when he-
Were
when he went
like
into
sober
rehab.
family members, or were they party? Were they like the band members and shit like that? Those people are honestly, quite honestly, they probably just wanted them to be whatever so they can make.
I
more
believe
money.
it was band members, managers, and
Yeah, no, managers you
roadies
can't
and
trust.
stuff.
You cannot trust. See, a manager will keep a rock star fucked up just so they keep performing good. If they sound better,
No,
fucked up.
this is
You gotta
post
keep
him
fucked
dying.
up, but not too fucked up.
Yeah, but it don't matter because they're gonna cover their own ass because managers will feed drugs to just
Yeah,
like
but
in
this is people like talking against
Get into
Courtney
the great-
Love, who managers also
well,
managed.
yeah, but also, Kurt Cobain is a higher selling point than fucking
was dead.
Courtney Love is. I know,
was
but he
dead.
still is. To this day, he probably makes more money than she does. Is she dead?
Not
I'm
think
saying
so.
right now, everything that even him being dead, his name brings more. There's more gross in his name than her entire career.
I mean,
definitely, yeah.
I
He's-
just
he's
go-
an
Did-
icon.
I go by the
and
point
this
by
is-
the fact that nobody would know who the fuck Hole is if it wasn't for Kurt Cobain, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
she's still
her-
alive.
Her band got big because she was Kurt Cobain.
well, see, I didn't even know what the
Because
fuck that
he was in her
But that's
hole.
but that just proves my point. You're gonna choose the one that's gonna make you more money in the long
Tell
run.
me,
Because
if
this
Hole
guy's
got
probably
big
got
because he was in hers.
this guy probably has hold of his masters and other shit. Does it say who has a hold of his masters? Like, does this guy still get paid off his shit? He definitely gets paid for stuff he's been in with him. Like,
not even
what-
that old.
interviews.
He's only
I mean,
41.
it probably was a toxic marriage though, because it only really
Well,
lasted.
yeah, no,
2 years.
100%.
They were both drug
but it was all drug and
Yeah.
fueled shit. She
But
looked
from-
like
from
walking
what
and
I-
talking bong water.
Guys, it only lasted 2 years.
Yeah, and he. From
Yeah,
what I heard, they had
oh,
gotten
yeah,
in a
because he died.
They had
That's- I
gotten in
get
a
it.
big fight in Italy before he
Well,
went
yeah,
into rehab,
but that's true,
and then
but-
he was gonna file for divorce. Like, he had already started the paperwork and shit.
I think it was just crazy episodes. I mean, he's threatened to kill himself multiple times, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little hurt he didn't turn himself into Arseface.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the Conspiracy Outpost. We're actually starting a new little tiny show that we'll be doing on our Patreon. We're all huge fans of Kevin Smith and the View Askew universe, and we're really excited to see Clerks 3. So, maybe once a week or whenever we get the time, whenever we have a shorter podcast and can do an after show, we're going to be talking about the View Askew universe. And the first episode is going to be about Clerks, and that will be on our Patreon. So go check it out if you guys like that, because we're going to be reviewing the movies, talking about them, all leading up to Clerks 3, where we hope to go see it. It'd be cool to do it together, but we'll see. And then we'll talk about that too.
Oh, I just want to say, you guys, it's only $1 or $3 right now to get on our Patreon. So if you get on, it's pretty cheap.
Hello, Mike here. I don't know what happened, but for some reason, the next half of this podcast, Matt's audio cut out. So I'm still, just bear with us. We're sorry.
Welcome back to the Conspiracy Outpost. We're talking about Kurt Cobain. What you got, Casey?
We got brains over here.
Oh my
No.
god.
Well, I did. Oh man,
No.
I wish we had a sample so we could do that. Well, I'd find a whole lot of them if I had a chance at some brain. I'm gonna find that scene, guys.
No, what were you? Where were we at before break? Sorry.
No, let's just dive into the specifics on this. Why we think that?
Well, I just have a couple more like little weird on little tidbits.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So let's talk about Courtney Love's estranged father. I guess he believes that Courtney was involved and or responsible for Cobain's death. And
Yeah.
then there was
Not to mention that the fucking private investigator that she hired to track down Cobain was like, oh yeah, she did it. She
yeah,
killed him.
he was the one. Yeah, he was the one who first was publicly out there saying that she was the one that hired him to go find her husband, and he was like, "Oh, she killed him."
That's funny.
And I was like, who the fuck was that? And then I don't know why Courtney Love's father and her were estranged from each other. Does anybody know? I didn't look up anything about it. I just
Probably touching. She's pretty fucked up. I mean,
it was like I was reading some stuff about it, and it was like that was like an honorable mention. There was a man named Eldon Hoke, nickname El Deuce.
dude,
Yeah, he came forward and claimed that Courtney Love offered him $50,000 to kill Kurt, And just after the interview, just after he said that in an interview, El Deuce was found dead after being run over by a train.
Those are tricky motherfuckers. They
So-
can be anywhere as long as they're connected to rails.
And then there was a Kurt Cobain's grandfather who believed that he was murdered up until the day that he died. Well, that Courtney had him murdered.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is, like, a lot of people close to them are like, yeah, she did that shit. And people who are... That's true. But, like, someone who had an objective opinion, being the private investigator that she hired,
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah, she did that shit. She paid him, yeah, in full. And then he came out and was like, yeah, she killed him.
He was trying to see, he got the payment from her up front, and then he was trying to get that book deal too, so he got that steady payment coming in. No.
No, but like that's one of the, like, that's such a bad nail in that coffin of that thing is the guy that you hired was like, I looked into it and I think you killed him. Is like, well, you're fired. Like, that's you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was
And it's
I was
like, this
concerned
guy
about
was
Mr. Deuce, too.
ex-police, like, yeah, not
'Cause he-
not to,
go ahead.
not to mention, it's not said that like Courtney actually killed him. It's that she hired someone to kill him, or that she convinced one of her friends or one of their mutual friends to do it. Someone that was super hooked on drugs. Like the guy that like a lot of people, like the private investigator thinks that actually pulled the trigger, was actually at the house.
Oh, we're good.
Was actually
Yeah.
at the house when he went there, and Cobain was supposedly already dead.
Did we already get to the brain part?
Who's Brian? No,
Brian.
the brain. No.
Well, because I just wanted to play this when we were getting down to the. I just wanted this.
But I face a whole lot for the chance of getting some brains.
You guys missed it. Here.
But I'd face a whole box full of them for the chance of getting some brains.
It was the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, 12 cases. Well, I'd find a whole box of them for a chance of getting some brain. That's
No,
why it
but
was
like-
funny.
Yeah, the private investigator that Courtney hired came to the conclusion that he thinks that she was involved in his death. That he didn't kill himself, that he was murdered. And that Courtney had something to do with it, whether she hired a professional, a scumbag, or even a friend to do it.
Can we just come to the conclusion?
And like, it was believed that the reason that she was doing it was because she knew that Kurt was about to split from her, and she didn't want to possibly lose any money, because I think they had a prenup. But if it wasn't that, could be wrong about that. She didn't want to lose like any type of fame, or possibly her daughter, because she was also a bad junkie and Kurt was getting clean. From what the detective said when he showed up to take the job, when he met with her, she was strung out on drugs, and there was like paraphernalia all over the fucking room. Oh shit! You're
gotta
talking
get
like
that
a
liquid
believer, Matt.
courage
That's
in
not
ya.
like you. No, but like, oh no, this one's just fishy, man. Like, I wouldn't like to think
That's
that
why Courtney
his-
loves
his-
pussy. Ew.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. No, but
Gonna get a defamation suit put on you, Joseph.
I don't care.
no, but
Take me.
it's like no one wants to think that their significant other would hire someone to kill them. That sucks, you know. But like, damn, dude, there's a lot of fucking fishy shit. With this. Fucking
It was
joke.
definitely a Seattle fish market, and that is 100%.
And that's actually where the term actually came from, you guys.
Not the
Fun
Seattle
fact.
fish market, but between Mrs. Love's legs.
Yeah, that's where it's like, oh, it smells like a Seattle fish market. That's it's because somebody walked by Courtney Love and they're like, what the fuck?
Goddamn.
We are nowhere near any water.
No, but
did
I think
Kurt
the
Cobain
sushi space place is selling us spoiled fish.
didn't Kurt Cobain's uncles kill themselves, or is that true?
I believe so. Like, yeah, I think
I don't know.
He had a history. Yeah, he had a family history of suicide. The guy didn't seem like he fucking really wanted to. That's such a fucked up thing to say. He didn't really want to be here, guys. And even with the music, the thing that he loved, he was so unsatisfied. Like the one thing that he loved eventually, which is a fucking proof with like depression and shit like that. The things that you love eventually they stop giving you pleasure, especially with drug addicts. You start well again with the whole Matthew. What was the word you used? Your body stops producing fucking. Yeah, and so you could try to use
Dopamine.
music. So look,
And
when
dopamine.
I keep telling myself I want to start making music again, it's like it was the only thing that made me happy. It was the thing that made me the happiest. I know, like everything else, once I start doing it again, that it's like I'm still
Do it.
gonna feel the same way.
Make some music.
But what I'm saying is the point is like with the whole mainstream thing he was saying and everything, it's because it's like the music wasn't filling the hole that he was like feeling. And that's the thing with depression and different mental illnesses. It's like you can try to find whatever, but it's hard. Like stuff like that it doesn't fill the hole like you think it's going to. It feels good, you loved it, whatever, but then it's like, oh, I still feel like whatever. And like even with whatever, obviously he wasn't super satisfied with hiring someone else because he was tired of whatever, like the mainstream thing, he liked the underground thing, but it's like obviously wasn't enough for him either. I mean yeah. Substance abuse, fucking a long history of fucking mental illness,
Hey, Joe.
people in his family killing themselves. No, not just mental illness, drug abuse problems or alcoholism. It's all the same thing, honestly. I don't know why they separate the two.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Write some music. Write some raps, dude.
Nah.
I'll write background music to it.
People always
Oh,
like
nice.
it's easy for people like this is what irritates me when people post stuff. It's like I don't understand depressed people. Just go outside. Be active. That's what
No, that's
defeats it.
stupid.
Yeah, and it's like that's the dumbest thing, but it's like
There are things
if
that
you
help.
never
but total defeat.
yeah,
of
it does
depression
it
is
does
kinda
help, but
hard.
it's all it is a distraction. It's no different than a fucking band-aid, really, because at the end of the day, when the sun starts setting and you're sitting by
No,
yourself,
it always
and you're
just feels
finally
like one
alone
day
with
you
your
wake up and you
thoughts
go, oh
again.
shit, it's not here anymore.
Yeah, it's not something like that. It's not. It's like, well, dude, you're just sitting
Yeah.
there depressed. It's like people don't understand it. So when people are like, I don't understand what's so hard for people to comprehend things like that because, especially with celebrities, it's like, dude, everybody wants to immortalize them. Like, they want to put them on like a godly pedestal, whatever. Where it's like, no, there's no way they could have done that to themselves because. No, yeah, they had mental illness, but they couldn't drive themselves to that. They couldn't do this and that. It's like, well, if you've never been that deep down into it, you don't, you don't know. You, don't- if you've never been down to that deep gaping hole they call an anus, mental illness.
Were you
You
watching
don't
what
really-
Casey was doing?
No, I didn't see.
Oh, he was like,
But people don't understand unless they've been there themselves. People can't wrap their brains around things that they've never experienced like that.
Yeah.
Especially when it's stuff in your head. Like if somebody told you, it's like, oh, stop being negative, and then you're just like, well, dude, you spend one day in my head. I can't explain to you what the fuck goes on here other than
Yeah.
fucking little glimpses into it. You
the
cannot
human brain
comprehend it.
is a fucky little bitch. No, but
Yeah,
Casey,
no,
you got any more for us?
Yeah, but that's all I wanted to say is it's harder for people to comprehend.
Yeah,
somebody doing
and I
that to
completely
themselves.
agree
I
with
brought
that.
this up in the
I'm
Elise.
pretty
Yeah,
sure
I brought this
everyone
up in
in this
the.
podcast has struggled
Yeah.
with depression at some point.
Yeah, but like the Elisa Lamb thing, it's like I'm bringing it back to that. Is like it's hard for people.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to believe in some whatever when sometimes like the answers are right in front of you. Now I'm not saying like maybe it was orchestrated. I don't know, but also she was a tweaker herself. And if he was getting clean and she wasn't, I don't. If he was too drugged out to kill himself, which makes no sense if he was clean. Why he was drugged out when he killed himself?
That's the
I don't
thing
know.
is they think they shot him
Yeah,
up.
but then that's the other thing too. If she was still strung out, how did she orchestrate such a immaculate
She
plan? If she was so drugged out, unless she's one of those geniuses that are even better when they're fucking drugged out, tweakers cannot orchestrate a plan that can, yeah, unless she had that much at her thing. But again, there's nobody in her arsenal that's a Kurt Cobain. It's
That's the
more
thing,
believable
it's
that
like
Kurt Cobain could
her
orchestrate
plan
her
wasn't
death.
good. She just has money.
Yeah, but not enough of it. Not as enough as his family and stuff. They could have. She wasn't some 1% person that could cover it up. Like I get government conspiracies that maybe the government killed him, which I mean
All of their
whatever.
friends were
But
like junkies, dude. They had enough money to cover that.
yeah, but no, junkies can't think that clearly. And she may have had money, but she didn't have cover up money like that. That's like next tier shit. That's not their money of like that's not their connection of money. Like that would be the stuff of people like power moves of people fucking higher up. I don't believe that her money was enough to cover it up because who's covering it up? Even her own private investigators and all that are fucking going against her. Who's to say somebody who's more powerful than all of her other people that are covering it up? Like who is it in her arsenal that is covering it up? If everybody else turned on her, why would somebody else? She can't pay them millions and millions of dollars. Dude, Vanilla Ice fucking went bankrupt because he put a fucking crystal fountain in his fucking place. That was enough to bankrupt him, and he had good cars in his fucking.
What were you about to say, Matt? I just
right.
want to know what your opinion is on the conspiracy.
My opinion is, so I said that my piece about the mental health thing, but that being said, I don't know. It is hard because she is a celebrity. So I mean, maybe she could have fucking. She could have got someone to do it. A lot of people turned against her. She was also a tweaker, and I have a hard time believing, given my past, that tweakers can actually whatever. But then again, it's the people that you least expect that do shit anyway. So I'm very iffy about it. I'm just rambling around in circles here. I'm about 80% that he killed. I'm about 90% he killed himself. 10% that it could have been it could have been from her. I just don't believe it. She seems like a twacked out fucking mom and wife. It's like Amber Heard is not a tweaker, and she fucking assembled a team of lawyers that were fucking stupid. So it's like I can't imagine that a tweaker could go past that. And Amber Heard, I would watch movies of her before I would listen to the music of
Courtney Love. You don't like
Courtney
Hole?
Bongwater.
You don't like Hole?
Yeah, I don't like hole. I like holes, but I don't like that kind of hole. I like the book holes. I like vaginal holes. I don't like that band Holes. Okay.
What about,
Is that
what
our
about
band's
you?
name? I didn't even look into anything.
It's
Apparently.
Hole, yeah.
Yeah, apparently. What kind of hole though?
A gaping hole.
The
She's
kind-
like, it
That's
was
a hollow hole.
She was like, it was a big deal. Okay, the name is very sentimental. I was
The
molested
kind
by
you
a
leave in your
child,
husband's
and my
head.
dad used my anal hole a lot. Cue the fart.
Casey, you hear that?
What?
I said. He said, "What kind of hole?" I said, "The kind you leave in your husband's head."
Ooh-wee, that was a hot one,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
What do you think, Casey? Though, what do you think about this conspiracy theory?
I think there's too many inconsistencies. There's too much shit that doesn't add up. Inconsistency. I can't fucking say it right now.
No, you can't.
Whatever. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. Well,
I'm
maybe.
surprised you didn't say "fuck you, Matt."
There's too many
But,
inconsistencies.
Yeah, no, there's just too much stuff that didn't add up, and like there's the guy who. Okay, so there's the guy that she hired, obviously the detective
Yeah.
that
And then
she
there's
hired.
also-
Most
there's also the
detectives,
fucking
it doesn't
random
matter.
Fucking heroin addict that owned the gun or something like that.
It doesn't matter. Like most people, they don't. Well, I don't know. I can't say that for most people, but like if you get paid to do a job, you're not going to sit there and go out of your way and investigate something else that you're not getting paid for. So I just thought that that's
You're
kind of
definitely
weird.
not gonna try to screw the person who's paying you over.
Yeah. Oh, let me just blame the whole murder on her, and maybe she'll still pay me though. She only did pay the
No, like,
deposit.
I feel the same way as you. It's like there's definitely like a lot of shit. It's like, what the fuck, man.
And then there was
Like,
Mr. El Deuce.
I think she was involved. You know?
Hey, is that a pink crayon?
But yeah, I think Courtney Love was involved in his death. whether she hired someone, but it's
Dude,
it's,
I
She didn't
wish.
really have to really mastermind anything either. She's like, oh yeah, here, let me pay this guy some money.
Yeah, but it
If
doesn't work that way
I don't
because
know, if
my
someone paid me 50 grand to go kill somebody, I'm not gonna go out and be like, oh yeah, look at me, I killed this guy. I'm
yeah,
keeping it
but
to
why?
myself.
But you also got to think on a larger scale. Do you believe the JFK fucking whatever shit, like the assassination thing? Oh yeah, it was all whatever. There's too many whatever facts. It's like you're gonna tell me that that there's that many things lying around like evidence for something that high scale, and it's the same level as something that fucking low with them. Like no, I think he just killed himself. Like that's oh, this doesn't add up, whatever. That's like putting her on the same fucking level as a fucking mafia hit or some shit for JFK. That makes no sense. It's like saying then she should be a mob boss. Then
Maybe
why is
she
she killing
maybe
more
she was
people?
playing what the fuck's
What
that
else has she
stupid
killed?
game on Facebook that they always send you it's like
Chainmail
mob.
stuff?
No, it's like Mob Wars or whatever
Yeah, but
it
I'm
is.
just saying, who else has she killed? Because they don't stop at that. Literally,
Does she?
people that have people killed don't just stop at that like that. Like there would be more fucking people that cross them, whatever. Maybe she wouldn't stop there. Maybe she would fucking kill somebody else in his family. Maybe she would kill the private investigator that is claiming whatever. She ain't that fucking smart. She's a tweaker. Tweakers don't think logically. That's like fucking oh my god, dude! Long Beach Griffey did the funniest thing with the Amber Heard thing. It's like, who are you? Who are you? Whatever. Yeah, you're gonna be my defense lawyer. You're gonna be whatever because the people that were on trial were fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't think she has that much brain power, dude. She looked like a brain dead fucking tweaker that probably wrote off of his fucking fame, to be honest. And she was wrote out of his will, so she got nothing
Honestly, I
from
didn't
it.
know who Amber Heard was until cause I didn't even watch Aquaman.
Yeah, and I didn't
I
know.
didn't even know who she was until this whole trial happened.
Yeah, and I didn't know who the fuck Courtney Love whatever either until the fucking Kurt Cobain thing.
Amber Heard is in Pineapple Express though.
Yep.
Yeah, she is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She also in the war.
But I'm saying, dude, that she was a no name too. So why does she have all this power? Is any of her family in the mafia? Like I'm kind of confused because it's like who is she have behind her and why has nobody else come mysteriously disappeared around her like the same fucking shit? It's not the same. It's like with tweakers. It's like if like somebody I knew was fucking tweaking and they OD'd or they fucking killed themselves and it's like their tweak girlfriend, they set it up. Nah, she had a little bit of money. She had inheritance. She had all this stuff. Her band wasn't that fucking big. Like it wasn't that big. How much did that band gross?
Cobain left brain stains like grains of nebrains. What a waste shoulda call Ichabod Crane.
I didn't mean to do that again.
No,
I want to know how much she actually made that wasn't his money. That is her outro. That should be the outro of the fucking thing. What was her band called? Hold. I gotta type in hold, not
Just Hole.
Shia
Just Hole.
LaBeouf. Yeah,
Hole.
because
Not
literally
holes,
nobody
just
knows
Hole.
who the fuck that is. I have never heard that band name.
Yeah, it's just Hole, dude.
Courtney Love shirt. Okay.
It's just Hole.
Yeah, but that's the point is like where is her gross income? Like how much money she really made? Did she spend her whole fortune on getting a fucking
No,
hitman?
she got money from Kurt, dude.
Yeah, and how much money did she get from Kurt? Like to get that, and then all the stuff it takes to cover up the shit. You guys talk about like the government can cover all the shit up. They're the government. It's like the government has infinite fucking whatever. Like they have way more resources than a normal person. How does this one person cover it up? Unless the government's involved and they're like, yeah, it's a perfect distraction. Why wouldn't anybody look into it? The same thing with Tupac living on a fucking island or Biggie living on a fucking island or every fucking celebrity who's ever fucking died living on a fucking island somewhere. It's like, it's the same conspiracy shit. I give it a 10% that it's possible, but like looking at her fucking, shouldn't judge a book by their cover, but looking at her, she's not capable of something like that unless she spent all of her money and time on a fucking whole council of people that are fucking geniuses.
Courtney's net worth is $100 million. After Kurt Cobain died, she got all Kurt Cobain's writing and publishing rights, which was valued at 130 to 115 million.
Well, see, given those facts, maybe she did do it. No, like, see, I mean, maybe if she got that much money, but also I don't know. If it's that fucking easy, then I can cover up a murder. Like I'm a lot fucking smarter than she is. I
I
can get
think
to
a
that
lot of
level.
murderers are just stupid. I feel like it's not that hard to kill someone and get
Well,
away with
yeah,
it.
no, it's not. But the people that get caught are the big ones that get caught are the most famous because they're famous because they've been caught. It doesn't take a lot to cover up a murder if you're fucking. You don't even have to be super smart. So
Anthony
maybe
was telling me about this this like serial killer girl. Like she was going around killing people, and I guess they was like doing an interview with her, and they're like, "Oh, why'd you kill these people?" And she was like, "The police department just kept letting me do it, so I just kept doing it."
Mhm.
So I mean, I don't
I
know where I
don't.
was going with that, but it had something to do with it.
I don't think that. Oh, she wasn't Ghost Whisperer. Or she was attached to that. I only know that because I don't know what it is, but it was filmed on or
Hey,
whatever. It was on my birthday. It was on a list of stuff for my birthday, so I have no idea what the fuck it is.
I don't know. I still totally believe that she had
Oh
something
no,
to do
no,
with
she
it.
is the main character. She talks to ghosts in it.
Who?
Jennifer Love Hewitt. I seen it
Oh,
on a thing of like things that happen on my birthday.
oh, yeah. No, I'm with Mike on this. It looks like we're divided for the first time ever. 50-50.
We do
That's
it
happened
every
plenty of
time.
times. Happened with
That's it.
fucking any cryptid, pretty much, and aliens. Me and you are just like,
Oh
yeah, it's
yeah,
there.
I forgot we did
Well,
Bigfoot
I'm just saying everyone wants to
and
believe
aliens.
whatever, and it's like
Well,
she
I
could.
think Joe was with aliens.
I don't know, man. A lot of people get away with murder, but also a lot of people don't get away with murder when it's someone that famous unless they're high up in some kind of government thing. So unless she's working with some fucking like higher up fucking thing that I don't
Who's
know.
to say she didn't? She isn't, or she wasn't. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say.
Well,
I'm not gonna.
why
There's
though?
yeah.
That's the thing with this thing. It's
Well,
like
just to,
people sit there and whatever, but again, but
maybe
then maybe I put too
maybe he
much
was
faith
getting
in the
ready to
American
kill himself
government.
anyway. I was gonna say maybe he
Yeah.
was ready to kill himself anyway, but
Or
then
maybe just like that thing where that woman who got thrown in
Hold
fucking
up.
jail because the guy said he wanted to die and told her to kill him. She did. And then she went to
Yeah.
prison and she laughed and she did all this shit. I'm
but
just saying,
I was gonna say with it.
if this is the case, and then
Oh,
it's
nice.
just every time a celebrity,
But
no, dude, every time a celebrity, literally every time a celebrity dies, everybody's just like, oh, there's a big conspiracy. It's like, are any of them not?
well, I was gonna
Are they
say
not?
like
Paul Walker
maybe.
didn't actually die. Vin Diesel actually
Yeah.
set it up.
I
There's a lot of
honestly,
proof of it. Vin Diesel
I
has all
think
this
this episode's gonna be
money
a short one.
and whatever.
Even, I mean, me and you we fucking sounded off on like a lot of facts, dude. I think it's gonna be a short one. We might be able to do Clerks tonight.
Let me do this one quick theory and then we can call it.
Yeah,
So
then we'll
I
do
was
the
gonna
outro.
say, okay, so I was gonna say, Joseph, for your thing,
I do.
maybe he
We
was
should
on his
just.
way, like he was gonna
We
kill
should.
himself. He was starting to get better, but Courtney Love didn't like that. She was still she was banking on him killing himself so she can get his money. So then he goes, runs away from the rehab clinic, goes to his home. She hires this investigator or whatever, but maybe he's not the only one that she hires. She hires another guy, which is the hitman, goes out there, kills him, and he was trying to hide on the low. Well, maybe not, because if he was, he's pretty stupid to go to his house. But
Yeah,
so maybe he was hiding out because like, oh, maybe it was the last place he'll expect it. Because that's, I mean,
Yeah, you
really.
guys, you're right.
But
He killed himself. She hired an investigator that would say, yeah, she was whatever. She hired a hitman. She hired a CSI investigation team to cover it all up and say there's nothing. She hired people in the lab to say there's a toxicology report saying he had hella heroin in his system,
well,
whatever.
that's the thing. The amount of heroin in his system actually goes towards the thing that he was.
That
murdering.
doesn't make any sense though, too, because they can
The
fucking
thing
prove
is,
when
people
somebody
think that-
uses their.
People think
their-
that someone shot him up and then and shot him because it was 3 times the amount.
Yeah, but then they can also prove like whatever you're. Nah, it doesn't add up. It really
With 3
doesn't.
times the amount, people assume that he wasn't able to function.
Is there anything about the trajectory of the fucking shot? Like if it was off course or anything? If it was perfectly
There is
whatever, if
something
he
like
was
that where, like-
if his body was in the perfect position of somebody shooting himself or somebody laying on a couch, it was leaned forward, whatever. Like there's stuff like that. There's little things that people never look
Well,
at.
there's the note
You guys
that was
watch too much TV with the
compromised
thing
of,
where it's like
two different handwritings and a lot of stuff that look traced.
That is
because it's
literally-
stuff he said before. There's
They
what
said-
Casey was, yeah,
well,
but what
Joseph,
Casey was
I was
saying
actually about
before-
to answer a question of
Casey,
yours that you just
yeah,
asked.
but also Casey, when you were saying the thing about the drug thing earlier, yeah, but all drugs things say whatever. It's like, yeah, but all TV shows show people breaking and entering without leaving a fucking single whatever. It's all fucking TV fucking co-op shit. It's like it's all the same thing. It's like, yeah, but every person that comes and breaks into a place leaves no evidence. It's the same thing with the drug thing. When you deal in absolutes like that, when it's like, oh yeah, all drug things say it's like it leads to suicide. It's like, yeah, but all fucking hitmen never leave a fucking sign, never leave whatever. There's never a payment trail. There's never anything. It's like it doesn't make any sense because there's been instances where people literally catch the fucking people doing the assassinations. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Unless she held the gun and convinced him, yeah, you need to do this. That's the only way I'll believe that. Is if she was there when it happened and convinced him, yeah, baby, do this. Set yourself free, whatever. And he's sitting there crying, I can't, whatever. And she's like, yes, baby, I'll help you. And then does it and then flees the scene. And then somehow leaves no evidence, fucking whatever. That's the only way I'll believe it. I don't believe this tweaker fucking
Oh yeah,
had
that's another
all
thing.
this
The
shit.
door was locked from the outside.
How do you prove a door was locked from the outside?
It wasn't locked from the inside.
Well, if someone
How
was
does,
late,
how does that work?
Someone locked
Yeah.
it when they left.
how would they know that?
Wait, yeah, how do you know that? That makes no sense. Because when you lock a door, it locks from the inside too. That doesn't make any sense. How does a lock show specifically that it locked from an outside point but not an inside? Because when you lock the thing, the latches from the inside lock. Unless somebody locked something, unless it only had a fucking like little thing at the top that you could do that and hop out a window, but then that's just proving it was locked from the inside. Unless there was a latch on the outside, but
No, that's an
locking a door,
inconsistency with the crime scene. Is like they
you
so, like-
can't prove something was locked from the outside or inside unless there was some kind of
Yeah, you can.
specific lock that only locks from the outside of that door.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to have in your house.
unless he didn't have the key on him to that door. And it's
No,
locked
but
from the
but that
outside.
doesn't make any sense
Like,
because
like
inside.
what do you say? Like, so say you're
You
gonna
have
leave your
piss
house to
on
go
the
to
inside.
the store, and you walk outside your house and you lock your door, right?
Yeah, I
and
guess
then you
so.
leave.
The
But then,
inside is-
like, so if you came back from the store and you wanted to lock your door again, he's saying you could just hit the bolt.
You
and
can,
then just
yeah,
go
you can
upstairs.
you can do the
How'd-
same
it
thing
was something
inside of
like
your
that,
house.
Like it was
That
it was
lock
like locked
thing-
from the outside or barricaded from the outside, something like that.
How would it be? That doesn't make any.
I don't know. I
you-
haven't seen the documentary in a while. I got to rewatch
You
it.
you can't prove that something was locked from the outside or inside unless
Are you looking it up?
something of the
Casey?
key, unless you looked,
Yeah, I'm
unless
gonna
you looked in a thing and the key broke off into the lock or something, because your door is gonna lock the same way on the inside that it does on the outside. If somebody locked their door on the inside right now, you wouldn't be able to tell if somebody did that from the outside or inside, unless it was some kind of fucking whatever you call that thing at the top, the little
chain?
fucking
Yeah.
yeah, a deadbolt. Stereo chain, whatever the fuck. Yeah, but you can't tell the difference. Yeah, you can't tell the difference if someone used the key or not. Unless there was some
Oh.
weird shit where there was only
Do you
fingerprints
find
on
it?
the outside and
'Cause
not
I haven't
the
wa-
inside
I
for
haven't-
some weird reason.
I didn't really fully read about this today. I'm just going off of my memory from watching the documentaries.
Unless
Hold
there
on
was
a sec.
different magically different keys for each side of the door, which is really weird. Like it was locked on both sides. Like my store has a lock on both ends, but it's the same key.
You find it?
I don't know. It's
In a
like my
sec, hold on.
coworker telling me today. Yeah, see, that would make sense, but who the fuck has that in their home?
Well, he was in his greenhouse, is what it was. And I guess the lock that was on the door was a twist lock, and that That's what I was trying to see if they because they have pictures of him, but they don't have a picture of the lock. So that's why I was about to
I
Google
don't know what
that
the
next.
fuck twist
I
lock
don't,
is.
yeah, that's what I don't know either. So give me 1 sec.
Well, that would make sense. I thought he killed himself in his house.
No, he did it in an adjoining building. Like it was a room above his garage.
Lock on the outside. So
It
so the
wasn't.
way
It
so the
wasn't
way
something that was recently whatever. It was. It was a former police chief said that it should be reopened because that was actually the case that happened.
so this is so the
This is
house.
something that reopened by somebody that didn't work for the police department anymore.
So I'm looking at the pictures of the greenhouse, and from what it looks like it's just a greenhouse that's on top of like the roof of their actual house. So you would have to take like a staircase to get up to it. So obviously there wouldn't be there'd just be a lock on the outside, I guess. Just well, I guess you could lock it from the inside too. But from what I'm looking at, I can't because it doesn't like let me zoom in too close to the doorknob. But it
There's
looks
people
like one of
saying
those
that,
like closet
and then there are
doorknobs.
other people that saying other stuff, and it's like, well, there was a stool blocking the way or something weird, and it's like, no, there wasn't. And then it's just like a bunch of weird back and forth banter.
If anybody has any information on a twist, oh, I missed it. Oh yeah, so I'm looking at this thing. It does look like there's a stool right in front of the door. His body's over by kind of a window area.
I don't know. He said he's gonna BRB. Dude, who knows? Maybe it did. I don't fucking know. To be quite
Why don't you
honest
hop off the call?
to be quite honest, with the amount of beer that I drank, I don't really care actually. If he died by suicide or whether he was killed, whatever. But I mean, quite honestly, regardless of what happened, let's just say natural selection took its course. Because if he let himself be involved with people, tweakers of that high intellect that could take him out like that, and he was too stupid to realize, well, he had it coming.
Well, if everybody's sufficient with that, I say we call it.